order.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Adoption of agenda, can we get a second? Second. All in favor? 3.1 recommendation?
Do we have late items to add?
We will. 3.1 recommendation?
Adopt the minutes from the regular council meeting held on July 17, 2019.
Have a seconder. Second. All in favor?
I have a
Actually,
discussion.
a question.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Marlene.
I can go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I have to sort this out right here. I wasn't prepared for this quite yet. On page 19, we have the FCM report. Your report is in there, but I don't understand why it's in the meeting from July 17th when it was requested on July 17th.
Can you answer that, Sandy?
Yes. So what happened was Mayor McKinney had handed it to me before, and I forgot to include it in the minutes. It was actually part of her verbal report in the mayor's report, not a report for approval in the agenda.
Remember I could read it out? So I said just that.
She said just attach it at the end.
Oh, okay,
That's
so
fine.
then that's why it's put in here.
Yeah, it's not a formal report, it's her mayor's report, so it's tacked on at the end.
Oh,
So that you
okay.
guys have it to read. Make sense?
Okay,
Okay.
Understand?
sure.
Question.
What page?
The FCM report, number 7, attended workshops on cannabis municipal funding. What municipal funding? Is there anything out there that, when it says municipal funding,
No,
what
just-
are they,
just-
federal?
Just the infrastructure funding, hey Chris?
That's infrastructure for sewer, for water, for
No.
roads, what?
It was the gas taxes being,
The comments on the gas taxes being doubled, and then one of the big seminars we attended was one about a green infrastructure fund that was a federal initiative. So it was by electric cars, certificate vehicles with that type of stuff, or solar panels, and some of those more eco-friendly initiatives.
And then was that including the northern and remote municipalities? It has to be green, so,
everything, oh my God.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I see municipal funding and I went,
Oh, I've been all
Yeah,
over that,
exactly.
both would have been. So we got some late items, guys.
8 point,
Oh, can I have a second, or all in favor? See what I mean, we're half wrong. 8.4 or 8.14 is Jeff Blackstone. And then 8.15 is Wen Harrington. And that would be 8.5.
8.5 and which?
8.14, 8.15.
Public hearing none, delegations none, unfinished business arising from the minutes, new business, 8.1 recommendation.
The council received a letter from the PRRD, Municipal Participation in Planning, Local Government Act, Part 14, Planning and Land Use Management for discussion.
Second.
So, how do you guys feel about that? Because we are involved with the regional district, and the regional district would like municipalities to bow out. Or don't I,
You know my thoughts on this.
yeah, I know.
I don't think we should bow out because it's not that the village of Coos can sway one way or the other on regional district, but it does give us the support to our area directors when they are discussing something to the bigger municipalities, as in Fort St. John has 2 reps, Dawson Creek has 2 reps, to give up that support, which they always support us. I would be opposed with stepping down and changing that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, am I reading this correctly that Leonard Hebert wanted to,
Yes,
he wants us to opt out?
yes.
And
And
yet,
so does Dan Rose.
well, I know what they're thinking, but why do they know what we're thinking?
Well, because they have their regional area, right?
Yes, they do.
And then we can vote against it or we can vote with them.
Yes.
And that's why they would like us to change. I think Dawson Creek is not gonna be doing that, so they just sent it to us. But I haven't had confirmation that Dawson Creek's gonna do.
Okay.
Then it's gone on holidays. So, what do you guys wanna do?
And Chris had a comment there.
Oh, Chris, no?
Yeah, thank you, Rich. I was just gonna say to the new members on council, this was an item that came up for the previous council too, so if anyone wanted any background info, I can share that with you. But essentially what the process is, as Mayor McKenny alluded to, at the regional district, all of the items are brought up in front of the board and voted on as a unit. The struggle, and when Director Rose had done the presentation, the struggle that they're having with it is, for example, something taking place in Tumbler Ridge, theoretically as it happens right now, Puskubi has a vote on that relative to what's taking place in Tumbler. And the comments were essentially, well, it's not our sandbox, so, why are we, why do we have a say in what happens in someone else's backyard? So, to the mayor's point though, it's not bad to have as a backup plan if there is ever a large scale regional item that council feels strongly about. Maybe one of the larger cities, Dawson or Fort St. John or somewhere in one of the areas you guys feel strongly that something should or shouldn't be done. Or if we back away from this, then we don't have a voice in it at all.
It's the same with the when we did the taxes. When we taxed the dog, right? If something like that ever happens again. Which it could.
But it's like if they built a field house, and I wanted the field house here, right, see? And they decided, no, they're gonna put it in Cheltenham, I could say, no, like I could vote, right? No. Right?
The letter also states, gives us an option.
Yeah.
Or enter into an agreement for the creation of a joint plan area for lands adjacent to Bruce. I think that's something we should be looking at.
Mhm. Okay, so you wanna make a motion that we look at keeping that one? What do you wanna do?
Well, we can opt out.
I don't think we should opt out altogether. No.
You could, from what I'm understanding, you could opt out, but still enter into an agreement. Is the other way viable as well? Stay in plus still enter into an agreement.
Chris?
Thank you, Your Worship. My understanding of it is if we're in, it covers everything. And to your point, Councilor Grover, if we want to maybe scale some of that back, then, if it sounds like Director Hebert is offering the option of creating sort of a boundary and say, okay, well, these lands are adjacent to Bruce, so if something comes up, gas plant, some other facility in that area, then you guys will still have a say.
I'd like to know a little bit more about what he meant with regards to that.
So you want to send back to
If we
Mrs.
could,
Sanders?
that's what I would prefer to get some more information.
Chris?
I think it's probably, if I may make a suggestion, Your Worship, probably best to bring him in as a delegation. Ask him to have, you guys can ask, because if we get into a back and forth letter release and stuff's gonna be lost in the translation.
Okay, can you do that?
So you want
All in favor?
Leonard to come in
For delegate. All in favor?
Who made the motion? Ken.
Ken did.
Who seconded it?
Martin?
Maureen did. Did you see that? Maureen's
See,
hand
that's
was
how we do
waving. 8.2 recommendation.
The council direct administration to draft a wage loss reimbursement policy.
So can I get a seconder? Did anybody actually read this here?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, and what is your guys' thoughts?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donna doesn't speak very loudly.
I'm gonna give you guys bells, different tones, and then I'll know who's who.
So what's your thoughts on this, Chris?
Thank you, Your Worship. Like I kind of mentioned in the report, the premise is sound. So, you know, the payment or reimbursement streams that are on the books right now start with direct expenses, so the obvious stuff, the travel, the food, if you guys are attending anything official. And then, of course, there's the council stipend, which is supposed to be a payment for your time spent here and preparing for council meetings. The gap seems to be, and it's actually a pretty cool concept, that, you know, if a member of council has to take a week off of work to attend a conference, UBCM for example, well, that really starts to impact somebody's personal life, or can, you know, so a policy like this would at least allow that individual to go to their employer and say, I need a week off, unpaid, I don't want to use the little bit of vacation I've already got. So, and then attend that function on behalf of council, and then still keep the bills at bay on the home front by being paid for it, because the council stipend definitely doesn't cover, you know, those big drawing meetings, and even some of the little day-to-day ones, you know. I've heard from a lot of folks considering running for local election, you know, that's one of the biggest barriers in doing it. Well, I've only got 2 weeks of vacation, and I know all the meetings and stuff council attends, and I'm not giving up all of that time, you know, to do these functions. I'm not going to be married to that role essentially. This sort of bridges the gap. So,
In its current form, I'm 100% opposed, for mainly 2 reasons. Number one, if it passes the way it's written, right, I'm going to volunteer to go to every single conference there is, and you guys can pay my wages, right? For every conference, I need to pay the hotel per diem and
But
lost wages.
you can volunteer all you want, but it's council's decision that says you go or not go.
Well, I think if you're going to do something like this, and I agree, there has to be a cap on
How many times?
the
Approved by
amount.
council.
And when,
It has to
On
be
the amount,
approved.
and when it happens,
I think we should set a cap, right? No more than $4,000 for the year or $2,000 for the year. Let me just get the second part of the part. The second part of this is in no way do I expect, wish, or would endorse the village paying for a spouse to attend.
No,
Exactly.
no. That is definitely a no.
the reason that it was brought up is because I don't get very many vacation days because I'm part-time.
Yeah.
So I would have to take my vacation to go do this, and then I'd have no vacation.
I understand.
Bart?
I'm sort of opposed to a cap because things happen, which we've experienced previously, where a big issue comes up and there is a lot of travel to be, you know, but it should be approved at council meeting, who's going, and each travel has to be approved by council as a whole. Because if something big comes up and we have to send somebody to FCM or to Ottawa or to Victoria because if there's an issue that's not UBCM or not NCLGA, which things have come up that are not, and the council approves that, and you're taking time off to participate, you should be reimbursed, but with approval from council.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So all in favor? No? What do you want to do?
To work on policy,
Work on the policy? What do you want? Can I have a motion?
I make the motion that the administration draft a policy to bring back for us to look at.
What do you want to put in this policy? Because this is what Taylor uses?
It has to be tweaked for us and of the things that we've discussed.
So no spouses,
Suppose approved by council.
travel approved by council on a trip-by-trip basis,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for future councils, if we don't put a cap on it, should we do that?
Chris?
Thank you, Worship. The cap can definitely be set. You know, and it's an option for us to bring back in the draft. But the council policy, I knew, you know, let's say a few years down the road, Councilor Hebert, new council comes in, a policy in theory doesn't even have to go out to public consultation. So a policy can be set with a single motion. You guys could draft this policy right here now if you wanted to. So, you know, a policy is just that.
But they can
It's a
scrap this,
policy.
they can scrap this policy
They
and
can
say,
scrap it, waive it,
anybody
they
can go.
scrap it
Yeah,
with a
that's
single motion, yeah, unlike a bylaw where it's gotta go through the stages of public consultation, the policy is just sort of a guideline for operating reasons, so, you know, we can definitely make it, we can fit.
So can I have a seconder for that motion?
Oh, sorry.
Everybody's
seconding.
Okay. All in favor? And you're opposed?
No, wait, what the motion was to draft something to bring back to council. I'm for that, absolutely.
Exactly. Okay. You didn't hear, you didn't have your listening ears on?
What was that?
8.3 recommendation.
Mayor? Not yet.
That council administration, that council received the donation request from the Pooskopee Museum for discussion.
Can I get a seconder? What do we give them, Sandy?
$100.
Is that enough? What do they get?
I don't know, they put a basket together.
All in favor? Okay, 8.4 recommendation.
That council, that's over, it got moved over to the other side again. That council received a letter from the BC Ambulance Service for discussion.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Sounds like it's on.
Well, when they come across a check for the village, then we'll talk about taking those out of order. Until then, I feel no.
They have to pay?
The ambulance service should have to pay for our fire truck to go every time it leaves because somebody has a sniffer.
Oh, okay.
And how long have we been putting up the
Speak up.
speed bumps?
2016.
So, and this is the first time that anybody has said anything from BC Ambulance?
We've been adding progressively more as time goes on. In 2016, I believe we only had 5 throughout the community. Now we're at 25 locations.
This letter from BC Ambulance is a very nice letter. However, they haven't asked us for anything, so I think it's information.
But Chris, I also want to know what the guidelines are when they come roaring down that highway. Because the other night I was out walking, I was telling Marina, I was out walking and 6 cop cars went flying down that highway. Now, if a kid stepped out on that crosswalk, he would have. So I don't know, you could hear the governor kicking around that corner. So can you find out from?
There was an issue when I was a paramedic in Tumblr. If you're driving with lights and sirens through a school district, that attracts the children, and the children can step into the road. So that is, I'm pretty sure they were directed to turn off their sirens going through the school zone and reduce their speed.
No. When they hit that corner, it was woo-hoo-hoo!
What the policy is, and we should check to see what their policy is, and the
And
practice is probably 2 different things. But I'm pretty sure that's.
That
their
was much
response.
concern for me because the kids are, like that time of night, the kids are out playing.
Just for clarification, we worship the school zone isn't a school zone. The school zone is a 30 zone during
Still,
school days.
it's
eight-
still
8 to
going
5.
through town.
It's our playground.
It's 50 kilometers an hour other than 8 to 5.
He was
on
doing
school
way
day.
faster than 50. No, there's no need to go that fast through the town. There's no need. Not 6 of them. So. Okay.
That's
Now,
receiving this info.
yeah. 8.5 recommendation.
The council received a letter regarding the 2019 UBCM official opposition meeting opportunities as information and consideration.
So Sam, you already know where we want to go, or do you need clarification?
So we don't have meetings with any, well, we have one with transportation. We have a request. Do you want to go to anybody else? Do you want mental health, addiction and recovery?
No, I'm good with that one then.
No? Okay. Housing and transportation, yes. And jobs and affordability?
Jobs and affordability, seniors.
There's nothing on here that says seniors.
No, but affordability, can the seniors afford to live? Like jobs and affordability.
So do you want a meeting with them?
Yeah.
Is that just Barb's going to that meeting?
Well, this is the three topics that I have for the regional district. These will be the 3 topics.
Oh, okay.
You're already meeting with them already.
Do you have your schedule for the regional
I'll
district?
get it on
Okay.
the 5th of September.
Okay.
But these guys are working welcome to go. Whatever meetings they would like. Because this is CSS Regional District Chair and Director.
Yeah, your schedule, she'll send me your schedule for the regional district next week.
Okay. So we're just gonna put that for information. 8.6 recommendation.
That council received a letter of support for the rural dividend fund application as information.
Second.
Chris, do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah, thanks, your worship. No discussion needed on this council. You guys will remember this was sent out already by email. We're just formalizing it, but we're putting it here for the public.
We weren't thanked in the newspaper. Very well. Just saying. Okay, 8.7 recommendation?
Mid-6.
No, I just read the rural dividend fund.
On 8.7.
Oh, I thought we
I'm on
did.
8.7.
I thought I did it. Okay. The council point 2, new alternate delegates for the MIABC's voting list. What's the MIABC?
Municipal Insurance Association.
Okay, I should know that.
So who wants to do this?
Those are awesome seminars.
No, no, okay, we're done that one.
It'd be nice if we did have 2 councillors appointed for voting rights in case something comes up.
I don't have.
You're already on the list.
Yeah, but I'm not voting.
So we want,
So we have meetings that we can see, okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to
I'll
count?
do it, I've done it before.
Barb and Dawn.
We get nominated. Phones.
All in favor? 8.8 recommendation.
And council received a report from Northern Carleton on UBCM resolution, regional management of forestry as information.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Can I receive it as information?
Yes.
All in favor? 8.9 recommendation.
The council received a BC Oil and Gas Commission request to meet the village council member as information/consideration.
Second.
So Chris, we want them to do a delegation.
I definitely think that's a good idea.
All in favor?
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
The way I read this is they're asking for a liaison, not as coming for a meeting.
So would you,
So they're asking to meet with a council member from the village, meeting on a quarterly basis.
Ken?
Is that not what Ken does already?
No,
with
Ken
the-
does, he does courtesy matters. So Ken, can you do that?
Absolutely.
But can we also have the Oil and Gas Commission for here for a delegation?
Okay.
Because there's some questions we might have.
All in favor? All in favor? Sorry, keep my hand.
I know, I just cleared my throat. 8.10 recommendation.
the council received the email from the DC Disc Golf Club as information.
got a seconder? Did you want to sit in my manager? All in favor? Or do you guys want to discuss this?
For information.
So we're putting in this information. 8.11 recommendation?
And council discussed the concept of a walking/cycling trail around Blues Park.
Have a seconder.
Well, I can't say that over
Discussion.
It was a good idea.
We already had this all planned out. And we're doing it all the way around, back. But we already have that already established.
We discussed it as a concept, but there's never been an app or anything put in front of you guys for an actual motion. It's come up in the budget discussions.
So can you bring us back on that, how you want it? Let's do it there. Let's go. Dawn, or Barb, sorry.
I like the idea. I think it's an excellent idea. You can go down there, let your dogs run, or go for a walk, or whatever. Now, will there be snow removal in the winter? No.
Probably not consistent.
Yeah.
I'm sort of envisioning a compact gravel trail down there, probably 3 feet wide. Anything more than that, probably gonna get prohibitively expensive to do. You guys may want to consider something a little more hard packed, because compact gravel is okay for a lot of uses, but it doesn't lend itself super well to strollers or kids on the really little bikes with the training wheels and stuff. But I know if we're looking at pavement or anything, anything substantial, it's just gonna be expensive anyway.
Down the road.
And the reason that was on there was because of the disc golf letter there too. We hadn't really talked about where we want our trail infrastructure to be in Goose Park, and the disc golf guys were kind of suggesting they wanted to be permanent fixtures down there, so.
I have to point out a mistake. There actually isn't the email from the disc golf in here.
No. I went up looking. Thinking, I don't remember reading that.
Everybody approved it, but it's actually not there.
It's actually very.
Can I bring it back on September 4th?
So we can table this then? No, you can bring back that email, but let's get this trail happening. here.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the email.
Yeah.
I'll put it on, sorry.
To
everybody.
paraphrase the email, yeah.
I was looking at you like, oh, I'm looking at that email.
Disc golf guys were asking to be permanent fixtures partly for a grant application that they're looking to put some of the permanent baskets in, but as council's kind of mentioned in the last couple of delegations that, you guys aren't sure where all of the village's stuff is gonna go yet, and I don't know if it's the best idea to try and build the village's infrastructure around somebody else's golf course.
So,
What's the thinking here? You're gonna put this out to bid for someone to build a walking trail around the park, or are you gonna have public works do it? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, good question, Councilor Drover. Really, right now, I was trying to get a sense of whether or not council likes the idea, the concept formally with a motion. And then, I've got to start making some calls, getting some numbers, seeing if it's something we can do, or if we've got to contract it out, what the gravel costs are, or what the build times are, that type of thing. I know Tumbler Ridge has done some trails similar to this, so I'm going to reach out to those guys and get an idea, how hard it is, what's involved, and who can do it, and what it's
Didn't
going
the
to cost.
Volunteer Society do that?
The Wolverine Nordic
Yes.
Mountain Society does a lot of the trails in Tumbler Ridge. I'm not sure they've done any of the compact gravel ones. I'm pretty sure the district has.
but you could phone and find out.
Yeah, I can find a couple of
Yeah.
phone calls, I'll find out for sure. Then once I know what we're looking at, I'll probably go out there with one of those measuring wheels too and just measure it to get an idea of the distance. And once I know that, I'll bring it back to you guys as part of the budget for next year too. See what it costs.
So you want a motion that we accept this, so you want to accept this as is, and then you bring out back
Yeah.
how much it's gonna cost to us, right?
I'll make that motion.
And also-
What exactly are we saying? Yes, we are gonna put this trail around?
That I'm to investigate it with the cost of
Investigate We agree on the concept? All in favor?
Second?
Ms. Martin, do you hear? 8.12 recommendation?
It designated
That
site.
council approved using digital beam photography to take aerial photos of cruise scooping.
Can I get a seconder? And discussion.
So what's the difference between? the
Okay, I'm just gonna put someone's name here. There we go. Don't even bother anymore.
Just pick somebody?
Yep.
So what do you guys want to do here? Digital bead photography, if you want to explain this, Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Worship. So, at the July meeting, Sandy had brought the concept to council that we put a nice 3 pictures of cruise in behind the reception area. This one caught us off guard. We weren't expecting it to be quite as expensive as it is. However, we found out that drone photography isn't what it used to be. It's now a licensed endeavor with the NAV Canada flight path and all of this paperwork and so they're obviously charging for the time they gotta put in making this happen. So we're probably looking at between the $1,300 to $1,500 range to get. Now, mind you, that's something that'll probably be on the back wall for 15 years, if not more. I think when we initially went into
Still have
it,
money left over for my blinds and my paintings.
yeah, we were thinking a couple of $100 to get that done. That doesn't appear to be the case.
Or Donna? So used to Barb having something to say.
What's the difference between the two things? The one says $9.95 and $1.99, and the other one says $2.99 and $2.90. So what's the difference?
So Sandy,
The $9.95 is for them to take the pictures,
Okay.
to fly the drone, file the flight plan, they've got their license, everything. The NAV Canada fee is $199 that they have to, and then the other costs are however we decide to do the pictures.
Okay.
So the one is a digital file, the one is 3 16 by 20 prints, which is, I think, the one that we would go for, because that's what we want on the back, right? So it would be the $1,200 plus the $290.
So how much money you got left over from the phone?
From which?
your blinds?
Your blinds and.
From my blinds and my painting, I think I've got almost $5,000 or $6,000.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll make a motion.
It must be half for, thank you. I told you.
Are they gonna do a winter one too, or just all summer? Just.
I think we want it green, don't we?
Well, I think I'll let the winter one with the village all covered in snow looks good too.
But then we would have to pay twice for them to go up. Maybe we could do one in the fall when it's kind of changing
Yeah,
green
that's-
to get,
yeah.
you know, a fall picture.
You better
Okay.
make it red.
Okay, so we get a seconder, we're all in favor?
No, we're not all in favor,
Oh,
right? You wanna spend $1,300 for 3 pictures put behind someone's desk, come on now. Let's have a contest in the community. Send us your best picture from
We
school.
want an aerial
From
one,
the
maybe
top
or
or
two
over
there.
An aerial. For $1,300, we could do without an aerial picture.
She's got all her money saved, she just pennies in the paint and the
No.
lines.
Cameron didn't see that, so I'm not worried. Ken's opposed.
Opposed, terribly opposed.
Barb, or I mean, for Maureen?
She's got barb on the brain.
What do you feel?
oh, she saved up her pennies. I think she can go right ahead.
Barb?
I think it's good, because I've seen that
Well, I made the
you're,
motion.
I bet you got
So everybody
20 kids
except for
here
Ken.
in Boo's Coopy with one of them machines that would go up and be happy to take.
We
a
have
picture.
one.
We have a CAO that would do it, but it's.
We're a little redneck over here, that's fine.
So Ken, you're gonna
Sure.
do, okay. Scratch your motion. Scratch your motion.
Scratch my motion?
Yeah. The scratch your motion, Ken said he's gonna fly the drone and take the pictures.
Absolutely.
No, he's not.
Illegally.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's gonna get his license and do it.
We didn't
So are we
hear,
scratching
we didn't
this?
hear a thing.
I don't think we should
Oh,
scratch
it's
it.
just-
Scratch it.
I didn't.
we're not scratching.
We're not scratching it.
But I will make sure I note that you're opposed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're on.
We have $1,300 to the
8.13.
museum to go along with.
That council, that the village of Cruise to be declined to take over operation of the water trailer.
So Chris, did you actually talk to Shaylee about that? You can have a seconder.
Second.
Did you actually talk to Shaylee about it? Because there's misinformation on that.
Nope, I spoke to Kevin Henderson, your worship, and I watched the council video from Dawson Creek, and the motion is as presented here, so.
Really?
Yes.
Because you stood there right beside me while Shaylee said, no, they don't know what they're talking about.
It was Shaylee to put the motion on the floor for the council meeting, your worship. It's right online, if you go to the City of Dawson Creek's webpage. And then, so Councillor Wilbur put the motion on the floor, and then that spurred some discussion, and Councillor Lexstrom actually brought up, says, I want to clarify, you know, I'm summarizing his comments, but the City of Dawson Creek isn't giving them the trailer, no. It's the main resident to use it.
Can I get a seconder on that one? I did. And
Second for discussion.
And discussion.
I don't think we want to, if it's not gonna become our possession, we don't want it.
No.
All in favor? 8.14, Mr. Jeff Lexstrom's letter, you guys, please review. And Mr. Lexstrom is purchasing some property just out here. It's the Hartnell Farm, which used to be the Smith's Farm. Oh, here on the corner?
The map.
Yeah. And he would like for us to give him the go-ahead to have his engineered plans. Right, Jeff?
For water and sewer
For
to
water and
access. And there's some things in there about the Simmons land.
Yeah.
Just moving the road access over to the property I'm looking to purchase. And then he can access the one lot 13 I believe it is. And then he would give us right away down the back with the water. So, and then access the sewer from the front. It's along the ditch line.
So, have a second on that? He said, do you want my chair?
Yeah, second is she read it.
Oh,
Or
read it, yeah,
seconded.
seconded.
We're at the discussion
I
part.
do have a question. The sewer from your property, that corner thing, would need a lift, would it
Yes.
not?
I've already investigated lift stations.
So, are you gonna be hooking up to the Simmons development for water and sewer, or
Yes.
just water?
Water and sewer.
So all in favor? Jeff, can you go ahead and do his development?
Your worship, can I clarify what that motion actually was? Or we
Engineered plans.
to get the plans done?
Yeah. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
To do plans.
So that will involve, the village will have to figure out something to move the right of way for that road. Over.
Jonathan has to come in and see us.
Hey?
Jonathan will have to come in.
Yeah, he couldn't, I was talking to him already today, so.
He can just come in and talk to Chris.
Sure, okay, I'll mention that to him. Good.
So,
Thank you.
who's making the motion on this? Who's seconding it?
I gotta make a motion so I get a second.
All in favor? Yes. Okay. Do anybody see anything on the correspondence?
Thank you.
Calculator.
We have 8:15.
Oh, 8.15, Gwen Harrington. She's not happy with us taking the garbage from her. We're both down on the property, but I just, can I get a second on that? Second. If they would like to come into our boundaries, I would be more than willing to give them garbage and recycling. As it stands, they aren't in our boundaries.
In the letter that you gave these residents, did you state in the letter the reason why we no longer want to do the garbage? And that is because it's costing our residents wear and money that we don't get back by the service that we provide.
We stated it was a council motion.
But we didn't state how we came to that decision.
Did we?
Skylar, can you tell me about that letter that you wrote?
Recall, Scott, did we give a justification in there? Did we simply state that it was a council
Stated that it was a council motion.
with any reasoning, or just that it was a council motion? Just that it was
Motion for the previous.
So can you write a letter back to her and say, we're very, very sorry, but you're not in the ballot. And council made this decision because you're not.
You know,
And we're not in business.
so what are their options?
Yeah,
Are they going to, are they gonna go rent a dumpster?
They have to like, how do you get rid of your garbage?
Yeah, you and I do.
So wouldn't it make sense to at least offer them? I mean,
They
garbage
do
truck
have
is
it down there.
The
They
truck
do.
is gonna go past her, we gotta go down the hill and turn around and come back up.
But they don't wanna come into the ballot. So why should we be
Why-
giving them
well,
services?
Let's just say, because we have given them the services in the past.
Yeah, and I.
Let's just come up with a dollar amount which would satisfy the cost of providing that service to those people in that area.
Since my family would gladly pay.
Pardon?
They don't go down the hill, if they don't have to pick up the garbage, there's no reason
Yeah,
to
they
go
do.
down the
They
hill.
have to go down the hill.
You do council.
Oh,
Yeah, otherwise we have to back up the road. So we would have to.
we go to, it's Quarren still in ours.
I'm not familiar with all the names of everybody down there, but we definitely go down to the end of the road and turn around so the garbage truck doesn't come back.
Okay.
I feel that if we make allowances, we set precedents. And we can open up the door. And maybe on that side over where Ken Groups are, maybe they would like something.
Well, Clark Road wanted it too.
So, do we just keep expanding this? Or do we say, this is a village service? That-
You're not in the village.
That's not our job to make money,
Yes, it is.
not off of.
Service fees, absolutely.
No way.
Yes.
Otherwise, well, why don't we get contracts for our village public works?
Sandy, you have something to say?
Sandy,
Shoot!
was-
Score!
yeah.
Well, no, I just wanted to point out that the people that were getting garbage pickup on that area, they were paying for it.
But
Yes, they
It
was.
wasn't free.
Yes. I
But they're
realize
not, they're
that.
not in our boundaries. So if you're not gonna come in our boundaries, not gonna work with us, then.
Or what if we were to just
Were
charge
they
them
paying
more?
the same rate as I that live in the village?
Yes.
That's not fair, because I pay municipal
Okay.
taxes
What if you
to
charge
pay for
them more?
my public works, where they are not paying their percentage. That's what I'm opposed.
I don't want one. So, all in favor?
Of leaving as is?
No, taking it away.
Yes.
And you too, or what?
Well, because it's the fact that he's sick, right? Then she has no way of getting the garbage to the dump.
Just to clarify, your worship, it's already been taken, we picked up the bins on the 20th, so.
Okay, well, it's a done deal.
I've got a motion here to simply write this lady back and state the council's reason why it's changed.
Well, I was opposed to council's initial decision, I believe that's on record.
Yes.
Okay. Just so you know, Skylar did say that she did mention in the letter that it is outside boundaries. In the DRRD.
So anybody see any recommendations there? Pardon?
Library funding. The,
There's lots of them in there.
provincial library funding. That's,
Second on that?
What would you like, what was your motion? You already sent letters of
we
support.
sent
You've
letters
already
of
done that.
support.
Oh.
Is there any resolutions coming up at BBC?
Not that have come up yet, but they're just starting to come in.
Okay, I just wanted to know that we are opposed to the library funding letter.
Yeah, and I got it.
Yeah.
For the email?
Yeah, it's going on the next one.
So is there anything else? The gas tax. Chris?
No, thank you, worship. Council, and I believe through Councillor Hebert, had asked for item 910, the property noise bylaw. And I believe that related to the report items on page 16 where Councillor Hebert mentioned she visited with Red and Edna and wanted to know about the noise bylaws.
Which one was that?
910. That's the Corporation of Village of Houston bylaw 588.
We couldn't get the full bylaw into the agenda because it's printed on a longer sheet, so everybody's got the full version.
Under your authorized persons, you have a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. That's on page 109.
Yeah.
Village clerk, village foreman, building inspector of the village, and any other police officer. Would our,
Bylaw officer?
be incorporated or be included as a police officer, or would we have to add another line to indicate our bylaw officer?
I'm just trying to find that.
First
section.
page.
First, a bylaw officer is not, isn't it a bylaw officer a police officer?
Yes, same thing.
Okay.
That's what I thought, but I need clarification.
I'd interpret it that way too.
So you just want that for information? Okay.
Yep, thank you.
And I'd like a letter to the regional district for writing that letter, or something.
Sorry?
It says here the council received a letter from the PRD supporting the school. Like, should we thank the regional district for doing that?
Yeah. Make a motion.
Like that second. Ken will second.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing. Ken will second.
Leonard did a wonderful thing with that letter. That was very nice.
Crystal did actually, but Leonard directed her. Is there anything else? No? Okay, resolutions, bylaws none, administration reports, CAO, there will be none, and action items.
CPAO report? You haven't got a report?
If you want to know about his, building on his house, yeah. Ben,
I need you to go to 9.17, the resource breakfast at UBCM, and I want to know if anyone is interested in going to any of those.
I think that one was just the mayor. Was that the email I forwarded?
This is mayor and council, no, this one's mayor and council.
Okay.
And you went to the energy one the last 2 years, do you still want to go to that one this year?
No.
And
It's free breakfast.
Mayor, or sorry, Councillor Smith or Councillor White, do you want to go to the same one, or?
Sure.
Sure.
They're bright and early, just so you know.
I'm there all the time at 7:30 anyway.
Oh my.
Take
Have to be up by that time?
We don't have to. We do, we don't need a babysitter.
That's not what I was
We just
told.
want, we just want you on the end of the phone.
That's not what I was told.
And yes, the mayor doesn't have any sense of direction when he gets downtown, so if there's a shopping mall, whew.
Oh, I'm with you in that one.
There goes my career.
Well, point two. Action report. There's a wooden post sticking out. Is that the side of the,
Diego. Here.
are those the posts guard, do you remember if those are the posts that were roped off?
No,
And then kept along? At the cemetery?
no, you have the new fence put up, that wire one. And Tom goes out there and he's using his lawnmower and he's lost a few blades because he's get these wooden posts from the old fence, which are on the outside, and they're about this high.
Are they on his property or
Or
ours?
ours, and he's.
I don't know, but he's being nice enough
Yeah.
and he's going around mowing the lawn out there
Well,
in
maybe
front
they
of the
should be
fence.
removed.
And he asked if they could.
Oh, they were completed, so yeah, they are good.
That's all.
Your worship? Nope, they haven't been, nothing's been removed. Blair and I went out there, we couldn't actually see them, so perhaps they're under the grass, Councillor Hebert, so we didn't want to trespass on his property.
No, it's on the
Oh, no,
cemetery.
it's on the cemetery.
Cemetery, right where the fence is.
It's a cemetery.
Yeah,
Fence.
so it's inside the cemetery?
No, it's
It's
not
on the boulevard,
inside.
isn't it?
It's on the boulevard side. The allowance, the road allowance.
Oh, okay, that's not
If you-
where we were looking.
Yeah, it is, so we have a new fence there, and the posts were put in just a few inches.
To the
So-
right, to the left of the gate, Counselor?
I just looked
Because it
in
probably,
that one area.
yeah, it probably wouldn't be to the right because we redid that parking lot a couple of years, so if anything.
It would be close to.
To the left. of-
It's close to his property.
Yeah, it would be
It's
close.
along that fence line and the fence line
Okay, we'll go back.
going
and take
in
another
towards his property.
We looked down the fence line, that was his property and couldn't see anything, so said, well, must be anything.
What's going on
You're
here?
looking
Can we take this
No.
Encana sign off, because we've already discussed it with Encana? That they don't want the sign back on the school?
So I reached out to,
Melissa, it says here.
Melissa hasn't got back to me yet, but I reached out to Brian directly on it. He said to his knowledge, they didn't, but he was gonna send it up to the food chain to somebody in public relations.
So where were we talking about that? And he said, no, they didn't need to do that.
But, and Wade has confirmed directly to us that no, they kind of didn't want the school back, but the direction we received at the last meeting was to confirm that from Ken. So I'm trying to get that from them. But the
So
school-
that might as well just go on.
So the school board said, no, so the school board confirmed Buchanan didn't want it, but we were asked to go directly to Buchanan and confirm that with them.
Okay, and then Chris and Sandy's meeting with Katrin on the urban systems on August 16th for cemetery.
There will be a report on September 4th.
You know, the mayor likes to be on top of things all the time.
You're gonna report on the 4th. Nice long one.
That's not funny. Sandy?
No, farm.
Or Barb?
Oh,
SPCA monies, nothing back.
No response.
That is totally
You wrote the letter to the
unacceptable.
board?
Wrote the letter to, I believe it, no, we wrote the letter to,
Wendy? Write it to the board. Direct it to the board.
And state if you're writing in the letter, how many times you've reached out.
To her?
Sorry.
the security cameras. Did you see on the news how Drayton Valley and then putting up security cameras, that backlash I got from the public? Oh, the horror.
Yeah, we just need them downtown, we don't need them.
Well, that's where they had put them as well, but they have our CMP, I believe, in Drayton Valley because they have 2,000 people or something like that. But I thought, well, we don't have anybody or anything, we just have these cameras, right? Yeah,
And we're still working on that, folks?
There's been
nothing.
action.
Okay.
That motion's changed a number of times, so it's,
Okay. We want to do the capital special projects?
Well, I wanted to say thank you very much for all that stuff you guys did. Very nice. And the window. Sandy, what an amazing idea. Don't bother changing the window, just change that thing that was broken. Right? Awesome.
Kudos, Linda.
See,
That's
Sylvia
brilliant.
changed the window, but
Okay, capital special projects, girls. Yeah. Skate park stuff, why are they things that were already completed on here still?
well, the skate park's not completed yet.
The lights are still on their way?
They're on their way.
Yep.
Uh,
finally on the way.
Is anybody even using it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's people there.
Every time I drive by there,
Every day.
oh my God, what a waste.
Yeah, but we go by too early in the morning.
They were on it tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when I come home at night, they're there.
Yeah.
And the bandstand has been done?
The bandstand is not quite done, Your Worship. It turns out we need yet another permit from BC Hydro, so that's ongoing as we speak.
Did you phone my buddy there in Fresh River?
He reached out to,
Bob?
yeah.
Gammer?
No,
Reach out to Bob Gammer.
because that didn't, I mentioned it in the staff meeting there last week too, that's taken way too long.
Yeah, just reach out to Bob and then he'll just escalate it up to the food chain. What else? Anybody else? Anything else?
The water meters, what's up with those?
They're junk.
Are these the ones that we sent somebody to the States?
Was going to be
Didn't they, last council send someone?
to Louisiana,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you went or not.
Oh, okay.
So just to clarify, those would be the residential meters, Councilor, the ones that are on here are to change commercial meters that we have that are still under the old analog system. Yeah.
Okay.
But to your point, the meters that we have right now, in my opinion, are junk. They're failed. We've got 20-something water meters that have failed just this year alone. So we're replacing residential water meters every spare minute we've got.
Are we replacing them with the junky meters, the same meter, or are we upgrading them to as they become?
Because we're tied into this company now, we've got to use so they've sent us a warranty part to fix, and I think it's the battery, if I'm not mistaken, but we're changing it out with their new part.
Is it something that we could budget and get some grants to change these water meters to a more sustainable water meter?
Well, that was substantial cost, though.
I know.
Changing all those meters.
I know.
And as you heard, it's right.
And the issue we have with them, the company said they were going to warranty the hardware, but not the installation. So, I can't remember if it was this council or the previous one had asked me to check with the legal and see if we didn't have any options to pursue for the labor, so it's equipment in as we fix them, but we've got a number of people every month that we're building the new one because we haven't got around to changing their faulty meter.
So the purpose of this meter is to charge the homeowner for the amount of water consumed.
Yeah.
So if this is an ongoing expense, why don't we just charge a flat fee? And get rid of it?
I brought that up, actually, the previous CFO brought that up as well, that the meters are actually more heavy than the meter.
Costing us money.
And the man hours to go around and read them.
But then you have people who will
Wash
use
their-
the water, their lawn,
They'll
and
take
garden
care of
for 24/7,
So
wash the car.
when Adam and I had spoken about it originally, it was actually his idea to change those out. He threw around the idea of charging a flat fee based on residential assessment, which would sort of then, scale it to the size of a home too. So the folks in small homes would pay a smaller one. The folks in the larger scale properties that would sit in subdivision, for example, would pay a higher monthly fee, assuming that, that's a four-bedroom, 2-3 bathroom sort of house. And by definition,
I have a 5-bedroom house and it's just me now. You can't say that.
I see them as
Charge the
Charge me accordingly.
special rate for married council.
But I don't live in the village.
I don't know, if it's costing us money, get rid of it.
And they
Oh, yeah, we have a contract.
Yes.
We don't have
commercial ones.
Yes.
No, commercial ones. We can cancel it. We have a contract with the city of Dawson Creek to pay them for the water they meter out to us. So they're counting the water on their end coming in. And we've simply got to come up with a system that makes that.
Pay for it.
Yeah, it's essentially pays for what they bill. So we know we've got some loss. There's always some line loss in any meter system. We know the fire department uses a bunch for training exercises and town hall and stuff too. So, we can do the math on that behind the scenes, but, the meters eat up a lot of public works time. And to maybe counter your argument too, Councilor Weaver, that somebody just turns on the tap and sprinklers, folks are subsidizing other people's water use right now. When we've got a meter that fails in a household that normally gets billed $400 or $500 per quarter, and all of a sudden the mandatory minimum kicks in, and we don't get around to changing that meter for 2 or 3 months, and we're only charging $130. And by definition, we're subsidizing that anyways, right? So there's, how many times have we done it? So we have meters in town that we've quite literally changed 3 times in the last 2 years. They don't work. They break break, fall apart. We got one lady in particular, we think her internet hub in her house is actually skewing the meter. Her readings are all over the map. She's, you know, a single.
And there's one with the hydro is right outside. So can you bring back something to us then?
We could, yeah. I mean, that would be a shift. We'd probably have to send that out for public consultation. Just to let the public know that we're looking at changing the system for water meter. But, you know, I'd imagine there's residents that aren't super happy with it either, because like I said, when you got public works coming in your house every 2 or 3 months, you gotta take half a day off of work to change your meter again. That's obviously not the best system.
But we don't have staff that actually reads it, do they? They actually,
So we do, yeah.
I thought it just come automatically to.
No,
me.
we gotta actually try
Do
to.
you remember that discussion?
There was supposed to be a program bought. That it just-
There is, yeah, we have a laptop version with a reader unit, but you have to be, I don't know the distance, but you can't, like, we don't pick up here in town hall, the far side of town. So the staff have to actually drive around with the laptop to the reader unit. And as you drive down the street, it picks up the signal from all the houses, just the ones that are working anyways.
So you'll bring it back?
We need research or money.
So, whoever I am. So the old meters, why were they taken out? Was it because that an actual, you had to physically walk around and press them
Yep,
to that?
yes, you had to.
The old ones, I believe, were analog, and staff had to actually go into the house.
Only a few of
The
them.
older ones?
Yeah.
Only a few of them, and they were trailers.
Okay.
But the ones before,
They had this
the laptop ones.
The button on the
Press
outside.
it
Oh,
down.
right, I've heard about that.
Yeah, they had the button on the outside of the house and they could go, and they had to
Yes.
physically go to the house.
I still have that.
I
Dawson
do.
has it.
So
We have.
consider even all of that workload, folks. So from staff going in to reading all of these meters, let's ignore them changing them. for-
We're not doing the commercial buildings though yet, though.
To us, you know, administratively doing all the number crunching and sending out all of the invoices, none of that is actually accounted for in the water rate. Because our contract with the city of Dawson Creek says that we're only allowed to bill the cost of the water, so we don't actually charge a surplus for administrative overhead.
And paying our public works to go around to every house, like, yes,
We're already underwater there, but
So you'll bring that back, Chris?
yeah, if we just move to a flat rate system that was just done, then I think that would be a lot easier, cleaner, easier, less cumbersome for everybody.
Back.
Probably save money in the long
Do
run.
you need a motion on that?
Yeah.
I'll make the motion. Good second. You got the right name.
For both of them.
Everybody's hard. Okay, counselors' calendars.
I have a meeting on the 29th.
August.
and I have a meeting at the regional district on the 23rd of August.
Okay, that's a special meeting.
Yeah. And you're doing one.
Should be square by then. And anybody else?
Can be a person matters.
October,
Okay. I'm looking at you, Sam.
Okay, Counselor White's report.
I'm technically in town supper and coffee. And what's up Oh, and I've been working on my.
I was just gonna say the hydrants look very, very good.
We've got lots of people that have taken the kids' pictures of one, so, yeah. They're so. Where's my just like the weather to be this way.
I think the village should maybe have a picture taken with you and Karen at one of your favorite
Can't put in our newsletter.
and put it in our newsletter and in the paper, because Karen has volunteered
Yes.
to do this, and so did Donna's a counselor, but Karen isn't even a Poo-Scoopy resident to come out here and do this for us.
She just didn't let me.
So
Very nice. Yeah.
maybe if we can, before the snow
Snow flies, we could probably have that one.
We just so happen to have hired a new admin assistant that's got a journalism background too, so, for a photo background, we can make that happen.
Oh, yeah, Pauline does, yeah.
Well,
Does she own the drone?
Yeah, she knows the quote from this one.
Oh, what am I doing? I've been attending monthly meetings with the Poultry House. I attended the Peace River Regional District meeting on the 25th of July.
can you give us an update on the Vulture House?
Okay, at this point, we are trying to the building has been rezoned, but we're having a special meeting with the City of Dawson Creek on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We have one residence that is opposed to the Poultry House beside it. We have addressed all the issues that she has, drainage into her yard, et cetera, et cetera. So we will bring that forward to the meeting on Tuesday.
Has the landscape changed any since they did the poultry house from what it was the?
Yes.
Oh, has it? It's gone up a bit?
It went all into her yard,
Okay.
Oh.
and she was curious.
yeah. No kidding, don't blame her then.
So she just wants to make sure. And then the parking was a big issue on streets and.
But we're addressing parking we're making parking spots, like we are addressing even the runoff from the roof. We're addressing so that nothing goes to her.
Well, according to her, your guys' plans changed on the building. There was supposed to be a little 6 rooms and now you guys are doing 8.
No. The plans,
That separate portion for the staff.
the plans under the roof, it doesn't matter if we have 4 rooms or 12 rooms.
Exactly.
But the grade, what we're addressing is the drainage coming off the roof. We will have some drainage to the street curb, which is normal to have.
Right.
But we are addressing so that the water doesn't flow towards her place. I think the issue with that residence is her house is for sale and she's trying to sell it. This is not a time of year that many houses are being sold,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And
The market is so.
the market is kind of stalled. So we're trying to address.
Okay.
Anything else, Barbara?
No,
Mrs. Hebert.
We did go to other meetings. Okay, for the first responders meeting. People went to that. Were you there, Ken?
No, I was not there.
Oh, okay. It was really interesting.
Were you there?
I did.
So you knew I wasn't there?
I can't remember that. That's not important to me.
was,
I don't even remember
First
when
responder
that date
meeting.
was.
Yeah, you were there.
With Blair and Scott and.
Yeah, I was there.
Yes, Councillor White that wasn't there.
and I wasn't there.
No, these
Oh,
two
no.
ones here.
But you know what, it would have been great
So,
to send
what
you
was
some
that called
on
again?
the calendar.
It was the first responders meeting, and I can't remember the date that was. July.
Well, it's not in there because it was in July.
No, it wasn't in July,
Yes,
it was
it
in
was.
August, it was a, it
No,
was
it was
before.
July.
No, it was July.
It was before. It was after our.
After, or, yeah.
appreciation certificates.
God.
Right?
We also attended to be with the Ministry of
Transportation.
Transportation, and you guys all did BC assessment.
Transportation too, you guys.
And MOTI was in
And
July
BC
too.
assessment,
Yeah.
Ministry of Transportation.
yes.
I was rattled.
Oh, he's
He's
in
assessment.
And you never
Yes.
do, that's right.
Just to
About
write
the
down this
crosswalk there.
Coming back here. I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first of August, it was in-
Yeah, actually.
the museum,
Da-da-da.
look at this. This is from Geraldine Scheck. Her father was Peter Scheck, and Peter Scheck was the village foreman in Coos Creek for many, 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 many years. That man dug a ditch across the highway at the corner there to put in a culvert by hand. Like, this gentleman was amazing. He devoted his life, sadly, he passed away from things that happened in Coos Creek. And he's never been recognized.
So are we still in books with him?
No, his daughter came here and went into the museum and had asked if there was anything to do with her father in there. They said no, they had nothing. And she created this book and donated it to the museum. It is a really good read. It's got amazing pictures in it that she's included. And obviously, she has given it to her siblings. And she shared it with them as well. But large print, really easy
Holy
read.
mackerel, I could read it.
Extremely. And there's newspaper articles in here about the things that were happening in Coos. And I think he worked here until he started in,
Is there a name and your phone number?
no, and I would like,
I'd like a copy.
Yeah.
she's coming here September 12th. But I would like you all to be able to
Meet her.
read this, meet with her, and I think that we should give her a big thank you. Her dad worked here from 1951 to 1975.
Holy mackerel.
Talk about it.
Yeah, amazing read.
Well,
And
can I bring
I-
more books?
No, you can't. I have to return this
To
to
the
the
museum.
museum. My Vanna moment. This will
Last, your niece is taking it home.
This will be on the counter inside the museum. It only took me maybe 10, 15 minutes to go through the whole thing. Like, it is just a fantastic read. Please
So
read that.
when on the 12th is she going to be here?
She's going to be here for a school reunion apparently on September 15th. She doesn't answer emails except for what, she is just like me.
What time will she be at
Forget
the museum?
emails and all the rest of it, right?
What time will she be at the museum?
She is going to the museum, I don't exactly know when,
Okay,
or
well,
what time.
I'm usually off on Thursdays, so
Apparently, and Les told me it was for 10 years, there's a 10-year period in there. And he said, well, surely you must be going. I said, well, surely you got my age wrong. I ain't involved in this.
I didn't know about it doing that.
No, I think it's beyond our
Yards,
reach. Right.
I did too. True that.
No, I'm not. The village float,
I already talked to them.
oh, did you? Okay. And I'm really sorry, but it didn't happen. No, I apologize, there was confusion there somewhere.
no kidding.
Yeah, next time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to ask about the closure, and now we know that it's a standard practice. It's a policy for closing the office for the fall fair. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's necessary.
You need to bring it back.
No?
We never closed.
Well, it's a government entity. I don't understand this closure.
For the fall.
I don't, and I'm asked about it and I go, well, how am I supposed to know?
And they also close between Christmas and New Year's.
And I don't
They get a
understand
lot
that.
of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Is that one paid?
What?
Christmas break?
We use our time, we use our vacation or our bank time, yeah.
Yeah?
But it's, you don't, well,
No, I mean, is it paid time? It's not,
it's paid
The
time if you have the
holiday.
money to cover it.
The other thing is, it's a Friday after, or Friday, when people wanna come in here and pay their water bills or whatever, right? And it's closed. I'm fine with it being closed in the morning, so you guys can see the parade, but not in the afternoon. So, I think that's important for us, especially on a Friday, to be open in an afternoon.
Is this an in-camera discussion?
no, I don't think so.
So,
It's
Chris,
just still-
you're gonna bring back the policy?
I can, yeah, we can bring it back to
Is Public Works closed too? On which
Yeah,
day?
they-
So,
They have choice to work, and some of them did work.
and some of them do so they don't have to be called in and paid
No.
overtime and all the rest of that.
No, it's not a stat, it was just a policy. Policy.
I was just wondering.
But it had already been in process before, that's why we brought the policy to make sure that, right?
The practice, the reason we put the policy in front of council was the practice had been to give staff that day off in the past to go watch the parade, but we have nothing on paper confirming that it was okay to do so. So we put the policy in front
Somebody's
of
not just have to take it.
And in the past, they got it off with pay. So when we redid the policy, we changed that to say they had to use their own vacation.
Okay. Was there lots of messages?
Nobody comes in on Friday afternoon.
especially
Not if
that.
you get one or two a week.
The other,
Usually Mondays that people come, but it's never busy in here.
No, it's not.
aside from this year too, your worship, a lot of the staff actually actively participate in the parade, going out there on the float. This year, obviously, the last 2 years, so.
Nobody.
I do have an issue of not being open on the last day of the year, because as of January 1st, anything owing not paid gets moved to forward, and to be closed for that length of time, and that last day, yes, they can phone. What's that? That I brought this up before, and I was told that they can phone and say they're coming in, or somebody would be here, or whatever.
Was it you and Trina were last day there?
So council sets the holidays or the office closures for staff and for the office in general around Christmas. So the practice has often been to do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day as a stat, and then often just bridge the gap between both the 26th and then to bridge the gap between those couple of days. But not always, depends on where it is. So
But you and Trina usually come in on the 31st.
we have to
on
come
water
in
bills.
to roll over the accounting system.
And is this cost saving?
That's a good question.
To Sandy's point, the days that aren't holidays or stats, if the office is closed, staff's options are to use a bank day as holidays for that day or to take it out.
So it is kind of cost saving because you'd be giving them their holiday pay, but so they will not be taking holidays at another time.
But they do take holidays. And Trina just got back from holidays.
But I mean, after X amount of years, you get such and such time, right? Yeah.
Very nice.
No, I'm not. Urban Systems. I can't remember what the draft. Do you remember them coming in here? This is dated February 2019 when they came in and they presented this and said, look what we did.
And August 16th, they just had one meeting, and then Sandy just told me we didn't get a report on it until September 4th.
That's
And
not
I-
like that.
No, this is, they were going to give us an in-depth presentation on what this report means, and I thought, wouldn't that be
They're
interesting?
gonna come back.
And I'm wondering how much, did this cost us to have this? Yeah? So if we paid for this, I think that they should be at least giving us a detailed presentation about what all this is, because I mean, I even took my magnifying glass and I can't see this.
So you're saying you have to save 1.2 million a year for infrastructure replacement?
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I'm confused, Councilor Hubert, that presentation already took place when we got that draft, it was a PowerPoint, we had two engineers.
But they were going to come back and explain it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
actually right to, I haven't received the final copy of that, so I can follow up with them, but to my knowledge, unless you guys want to go over that presentation again, which.
Well, it looked like it would have been
We need to
interesting to know, because it had maps of the sewer system in here, and, oh, there's the maps. And road conditions, and they had culverts, and all kinds of stuff in here. And, yeah, it would have been nice to know, like, if they were roaming around here and scoping things out. Tell us about it, don't just give us a
What do you
picture.
want us to do?
I would like to have these people brought in.
Delegation again?
They were gonna, yeah, they did offer to come back.
They did, and they never did. I found this one that's cleaning up and thought, oh, we need that. You impressed? Yeah, good for you.
Kudos to Marlon.
And I want to ask about my report on July 17th, what the dickens happened. How my report on my little stroll through Coos became delegated and direction when it was never intended to be a direction. It was only intended we went for a walk, and I said we should all be going for little walks around Coos and taking a look and seeing what we have. Great. And then all of a sudden, it just went way out of control. And I don't know how it happened.
So you wanted it done? Because you
No,
brought it up.
no, I did not say
You
that.
did want it done.
That isn't what I said.
Oh,
It was information.
It was information. What I did say at the post office, and I said, I'd really like you to consider what kind of landlords that we were going to be, because there were certain things that needed to be done on the post office, and that you should be aware of it, and that we would have to make a decision at some point what we were going to decide to do.
I'd like to listen to that YouTube video.
I would like to see July 17th meeting too. It's going to be fun. It's long.
Not too many.
Oh,
We have
okay.
too many things to do.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
Oh, you good?
Yes.
Councilor Jordan?
Well, I don't know what you slackers were doing. Responders meeting.
Good one.
Ministry of Transportation meeting. BC assessment meeting. My only concern is with the school board. And I do believe the school board is my portfolio, is it not?
Yes.
And I have never, ever, to this date, received any sort of correspondence directed to me from the school board. Anything pertaining to the school has been generic and everyone has received it. So, I'd like to report on the school. I'd like to know what the school is doing and what they're not doing.
Have you went over and introduced yourself to the president of PAC?
She's the president of PAC.
That's the question.
The Parent Association. I could let you know when they're having a meeting.
Sure.
Okay.
But I would appreciate some correspondence from the school board, particularly in view of what we have going on with regards to our school. I promise to be nice.
Not as nice as me?
You should call Chad.
I'm not.
I was nice.
I'm not promising.
Chad Anderson.
You're my mentor.
No, am I? You're
Jen?
this-
Yeah, Jen.
Yeah, you should call him and ask him about this.
Or,
Tell him
or, well, it's between Chad and Travis.
Travis,
yeah.
They're both in the, Travis works at Nova Scotia Bank. He's a loans officer.
I can send you their email addresses.
Okay.
I just go into Nova Scotia Bank. That's all I do.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor McKenney, she went to the first responders, and she went to MOT, and she went to an Encana supper, and she went to Herb Nodes' supper. I greatly appreciate them inviting me for supper. It was delicious.
We missed one.
I didn't go to the city because it was pouring rain and
I
cold.
know, we were cold.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be healthy again.
Yeah, that was it. That's all. That's all I did.
Yeah, that was, I forgot about my report to MOT and the
First responder.
I know that, I
Chris?
didn't do the first responder.
The only question I have is that, can you reach out to Argo and have them, because MOT was going to have Argo call us to be able to do a delegation. Because I'd like to have a delegation because, as I understand, it's just a 1-800 number you call. And, no, that ain't gonna work for us. Okay. Would you do that, please? So can I have a motion to go into?
In camera.
You guys have to leave.
Yes. I got that.